All Ball TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Favorite perspective so accepting. You're at the intro. They don't like comentario. Y suscribe. Oh. I heard the button. Yeah. You can hear me, all ball?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, favorite perspective so accepted. Like the intro said. Comentario, suscribe, like, comment, subscribe, share. All ball. Dame dato.
Listen, how was that light for you? Is it all right? Is it?
For me, it's cool because you like to block it out. You doing your thing with the shoulder lean.
Oh, it's killing me. All right, like that is fine, right?
Yeah, because we can hear you good. You see,
Oh.
you know me. I'm always concerned with the audio. But y'all know what time it is, man. Game 3 is upon us. The haters they don't know what to do. They know to attach their names. Knicks for clicks. That's been the Twitter. Flukes. Everybody doesn't know what to do. The Knicks up 2-0. They're figuring, hey, if you can't talk great about the Knicks, might as well hate on them and get the whole fan base to hate on you. All ball, one of the leaders of Knicks fandom on the internet. How you feeling going? How you feeling today? How you feeling going into Game 3? Matter of fact, I set this up.
I honestly feel good, man. I feel great. Like I said, we've been defying the odds all season. Nobody picked us against Philly. We won. Nobody picked us against Indiana. We took care of home court. Anybody that watches basketball and know playoff basketball, you take care of home court. Now all we got to do is get one. We get one in Indiana, we're done, whether it's Game 3 or Game 4. But tonight I feel good. As long as Brunson is in the building, I have no worries.
And he's been certified. I got the word certified. Certified. I can't repeat that because Kendrick Lamar's on fire. But he's been ruled to play in. I say guaranteed, but he will be playing today. Jalen Brunson's in the game.
Of course he's playing.
He's a big dog himself. But we do have this guy, Becky Hammond, Candace Parker. It's just, this guy right here, he says, nah, man, can't nobody be a bigger hater than me. Mr. Draymond Green himself.
He came out of nowhere. Lord have mercy.
Just throwing shots, low blows. He's very used to this.
How do you look like a hater? Look, that face just looks like hate. Wow.
What better way to intro that?
In the Eastern Conference, you can get to the conference finals a la the Atlanta Hawks with like playing very mid teams. And so that's kind of what y'all are doing right now. And I think what this is setting up for y'all up for is what happened to the Atlanta Hawks 3 years ago when they made the conference finals and they never got back. Another team to give you some perspective on this. Nope, but 1 second. Another team that did this to give you some perspective on this was the Portland Trailblazers years ago when they had Al-Farouq Aminu, Allen Crabbe, all those guys. They had all those guys, and they went to the conference finals, and we swept them pretty much without Steph Curry. They ran off and paid all of those guys because they thought they had a team that had a chance, and it was a fluke. And so that's what the Knicks are setting y'all up for right now, and it'll be probably another 15 years of misery that we all will sit around and laugh at Knicks fans with their delusion about.
Right, here we go. Knicks for clicks.
That's just
you don't
that's
believe
just
it,
what it.
You
that's
know
just
what's
what
going to
happens.
You know what's going to happen. Now, everybody wants to play on the big stage. You said it yourself. You love the Garden. It is the Mecca. And now we have a high-functioning team.
There you have it.
Flea, what up, baby?
What up, y'all?
Flea in the building.
Love when both of my brothers, all three of us is in the building.
What up?
Ain't nothing like it. That's Jason Calacanis, by the way. He's like an angel investor, big time money over there on the screen. But he's a big time Knicks fan, and he was going crazy, about to go clap back at Draymond Green. They have another clip I'm gonna get to later. But what do you feel about that? or ball. It just Draymond is beyond hate at this point. It's like comparing him to Trae Young. Like that's
I'm very disappointed, man. I'm very angry. I don't understand. I really don't. Draymond Green, who's a second round draft pick, who understands hard work ethic, trying to get to the next level, not being a superstar, not being regarded as a top recruit, things of that nature. To throw this young man under the bus like that, to say we're going to be miserable for another 15 years, it's to the point now where I don't know if it's clickbait, if it's hate, or if it's just dislike. I really don't know. But let me say this about Draymond Green. You owe Steph Curry and Kevin Durant your career. Without those two players, you might not even be in the league. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. They let you get away with murder to protect Steph Curry. If you wasn't able to play fake tough guy against a cupcake sweet league, you wouldn't be in the league. Let's talk for real, since you want to be disrespectful to Jalen Brunson, to the Knicks organization, and to the Knicks fan base. You're a joke, bro. You run to your podcast when you lose basketball games, and let's not talk about where you at right now, watching Jalen Brunson. This young man has defeated and defied the odds his whole career. Let's not forget, going back to high school, legendary. College, legendary. Now in the NBA, legendary. He's been consistent. What happened with real sports talk? The Knicks got their superstar. They need to build around this young man, and I see them doing great things. I've never seen hate like this ever in my life, Fabian, ever. I know we troll, we have fun, we joke, but it's going to a whole nother level. But it just goes to show you, when you're great, with my father, my family, they always told me this. When people not talking about you, that's when you know. But when they talking about you, you doing something good. So big shout out Jalen Brunson. But Draymond Green, super sucker. Never liked him, and I don't like him even more. He can go to hell. Facts.
Worldwide Flea in the building. I know this is hard for you. Well, let me preface this because Flea will go punch the screen because he doesn't like the likes of a Draymond Green and a Pat Beverly. They don't have any place in the game. You're very like Flea's always talking about this, man. Very, as much as I joke around and I say, nah, we need the wrestling aspect. Flea's adamantly against this kind of character to speak on just the Knicks and just the run in general. Flea, what do you think about what he said and where we at with it?
We toe the line a lot with just being inauthentic, right? We toe the line with that so much, right? When people come to see Knicks Rehab, right, they know what they're going to get from Fabian. They know what they're going to get from Flea. And they know what they're going to get from All Ball, right? They know what they're going to get from us, which is why, they come and join us every time we get together, because there's authentic stuff. I'm in my living room right now. I'm not about to fake it with nobody, right? Any of the stuff that me and Fabian get into, it's real. It's passion, but it's real. But guess what? We get off the phone. We get off of here. We call each other and we talk for another half an hour, laughing and joking back and forth about how good the interaction was, right? I said all that to say.
Always still argue.
Yeah, right. But guess what? I said all of that to say this. He looks like a fake, phony, tough-ass nigga, right, on this thing, right? He looked fake. He looked phony, right? He get on there and it's all projection, right? It's all projection. You had a shit season because you just couldn't be on the floor, right? You just couldn't stay on the floor. When you was on the floor, you was halfway decent. But the fact is you couldn't stay on the floor because you couldn't control yourself, control your emotions, right? You get on these platforms and you start running your mouth about a team who was actually successful. We're successful. The same way that they built their dynasty through the mud. They got it out the mud. Right? For a team, for a guy that came from an organization that got it straight out the mud. For you to have the comments about this being a fluke, right? Y'all lost in the first round to San Antonio. And it was like, okay, this team is coming. They on the come up. Then the next year they losing 7 to the Clippers. Okay, this team is on the come up. Then the next year they crack through and they win the championship. Okay, this is a real team we got on our hands. What is any different from what we're doing right now?
Great point. Wow.
Any difference from what we're doing right now? We get Julius Randle. Everybody laughed at us. Like, what the hell is this? What is this that we're doing? We get Julius Randle. Julius Randle becomes an all-star, all-NBA player. He leads us to the playoffs. We get bumped in the first round. Following year, we missed the playoffs, right? That's a bump in the road. Okay, hold on. We're trying to figure this thing out, right? Then you call us a fluke, right? We was a 4 seed. That's at that moment, that's when you call us a fluke, if anything. That's when you do it. You don't do it after we show up to the playoffs back-to-back seasons. After we follow up a season last year where we flamed out in the second round and we follow it up with being a 2 seed, win 50 games, overcome the most injuries in the league, right? We overcome all of this and we still standing right now when it's time to watch basketball. When you watch basketball right now, one of the teams that you're going to watch are the New York Knicks. So it just sounds like a lot of hate, a lot of disappointment in himself, right? Because he's not going to address the disappointment in himself, the disappointment that he should have in his star player in Steph Curry, the disappointment that he should have in Klay Thompson, the disappointment that he should have in Steve Kerr, right? Everybody's coming up short over this right now. Everybody's coming up short. So if the conversation should be more about that than it should be about a team that's ascending. All we're doing is ascending right now. How can you be mad? He called it a fluke, y'all. He called it a fluke. A fluke. He's the same guy that picked the 76ers to beat us in the 7-game series. This is the same dude that said that. But we're a fluke. He's a joke. He's becoming more and more of a character on TV. He has nothing else to do, right? Go work in your game. Go play basketball. Go disappear. Disappear and work on your game and come back a completely different player. I would be so happy not to see his face all summer till it was training camp. Go away. Go play basketball. What you do for a living, go play basketball. Stop talking to us. We don't care. I swear we don't. That's all I got, man.
Real quick before you go, Fabian, I'm going to just throw this little nugget out there. Is it that they're a little jealous that Jalen Brunson at the point guard position is making people forget about other point guards? Because I'm going to tell y'all this. Steph Curry, that light is dimming. He ain't been special. Not this season. People can say what they want. My opinion, Flea, a little jealousy in the air. I'm just saying. That's what it seems like to me.
It absolutely sounds like something's going on. So the fans, and you know what it is, this last point. It's us. It's us. It's the Knicks fans. It's nobody else. It's nobody on the Knicks chirping or being too much bravado and all that. We are a humble basketball team. We show up every night, play the hardest in the league. It's the fans that he doesn't like. It's the fans that he's addressing. And guess what? That's more goofy. That's more weird.
Right.
Freaky ass nigga. Like,
Fabian,
nigga, man.
Fabian, I'm gonna say this. Guess what, Draymond Green? Steph Curry ain't must-see TV no more. He ain't the most exciting player to see in the league no more. You know who it is? You know who everybody is showing up to see now? His name is Jalen Brunson.
They love to see it. They love to see it. They love to see it.
Fabian, the floor is yours, baby. I got it now.
I don't know if I could follow that up. They call him Flea a genius in here, bro. Because that was amazing. He ended it by calling him a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan. Freaky ass nigga.
Freaky ass nigga.
Yo. Nah. Because that's what it is.
Yo.
He's really a fan.
Yo.
Single white female. You trying to be like us. You want to be over here. I told you last episode, though, you ain't fooling me. You need somebody to negotiate with because nobody wants your ass. Let's be clear. You ain't coming up. We don't want nothing to do with you. Imagine if they asked Jalen Brunson, yo, you think we should bring? We think about bringing Draymond Green over here. Who? You wildin'.
I'll pass.
Not a pass. It's not even a pass. It's not a thought. Like I said it last time. You even suck at this. The only reason why I'm including you is because your shit just the same way you're using the Knicks. You using us for clicks. We got to use you, bro, because you got a name out here on YouTube. But really, it's gonna die out after this season is over. They gave him his own channel now on YouTube. Finally, maybe Braun will show up now, because he ain't been on there for a reason either.
He's begging, publicly begging.
His best friend, right?
Publicly.
Come on,
begging.
man. Like we see right through it, and just the Flea hit that on the nose, man. So I said I don't even know how to follow it up because he is inauthentic. And right when Flea was saying that, I'm glad I did not forget this. Boy, oh boy, how the hell does Rashad McCants leapfrog Draymond Green in my mind?
Wow.
All because Flea said the word authentic. I've never thought that Rashad McCants was being inauthentic. I thought he was straight up dumb with those takes, but he was himself.
Yeah.
Draymond Green is intentionally trying to do these takes, and it's like, bro, again, another example of please stop telling me because you played the game, you know something more than we don't know, because we see right through you. It doesn't take any basketball experience to be a troll. You're a liar. You just are. You don't watch the games. And once again, you still got to catch up to JJ Redick, because LeBron would rather suit up with him and do a podcast from his living room, by the way. I peeped that, Flea. The last one is just like this. It's a Zoom call. It's a Zoom call with JJ Redick. Let's fan that flame. You want to fan this flame, Draymond, you ain't ready. Because once again, you don't have people on that court who do this to you. Them Kendricks and them guys are not on the court anymore. I swear to, I wish I was 6'6". I would have been flamed you. Just like this, I've been talking crazy to you. Yo, your daddy LeBron still ain't on the podcast, bro? I would have got to kick you out of every single game. You crazy? This is just horrible. Clearly, he's doing it for attention, and we're giving it to you. But you probably watch this and laugh. He's a millionaire. Good for you. Good for you. But we know the real. We know you're an attention-seeking whore, and he's a friend. He's a fan. He's a fan. Yo, please, crazy.
The league, yo, man. Let's think about this for a second. I want to hit y'all with something real fast. The league is like changing right before our eyes, and some guys can't take it. Like some guys just can't take it. They can't fathom the fact that they are like, phasing them out. And it's not the league that's doing it. It's these young players that are doing it. It's these young. I'm gonna hit y'all with something that I was looking at, right? And y'all know I get a little nerdy on the side sometimes. There's only 6 guys right now, currently. The current teams in the playoffs right now. There's only 6 guys on the starting lineup of these teams over 30 or above. Only 6. Everybody else is under 30. The league is just changing, and guys are like, these older cats are panicking. Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Drew Holiday, KCP, and I'm missing one other guy. Only other guys that are 30 and above that's playing right now. That's starting.
Wow.
This league is young. This league is young. And these older cats, they can't. Pascal Siakam. That's the only other guy.
Wow.
He hits the mark. He's 30. Everybody else is under 30. They can't take it, bro. Jalen Brunson is taking, and he's doing it in the playoffs, OG. That's the other piece. This is the playoffs.
Come on, man.
This is when you want your stars to shine. And we're talking about Flukes.
A Flea. When do we start? I thought you root for the underdog. When do we start disrespecting the underdogs? When do we start disrespecting the guys that went through the same path as you? Like I said, you're a former second-round draft pick as well, brother.
So is Jalen Brunson.
Right. You had to earn that. Yeah, so you know what it takes. You played at that level. You played in many playoff games. You played alongside of Steph Curry, who's regarded as one of the greatest we've ever seen at the point guard position. You know what it is. So for you to be saying the things you're saying, listen, man, you beyond clown. Like I said, man, these guys is just, you just doing stuff just to do it. And now it's not even It's corny. It's not even fun no more. You're not entertaining. You're none of that. You're not articulate. You just corny, bro. But once again, the jealousy is real. His right hand guy, who Steph Curry legendary, he ain't must see TV no more. He ain't the most exciting player in the league no more. Golden State isn't the most exciting team no more. Ain't nobody rushing to watch them no more. So when they look at those schedules and see how many games the Knicks got on TNT and on the networks and prime time, hold up, what? Yeah, it's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Jalen Brunson. He ain't flashy. He don't want to be cool with all of y'all. He ain't big on Instagram. You ain't gonna catch him in the strip club. He ain't at the jewelry store buying all the jewelry. And on the court, humble. And you see what all the coaches and other players say about him is rubbing y'all the wrong way. Guarantee every last one of y'all, including sucker ass Draymond Green, I bet you want to play with Jalen Brunson. Bet that.
This is a different time, y'all. We can't compare. Even myself, I had to realize that this is not the same era when Melo was here. This is a different time. The culture is different. The basketball, the basketball play is different. The roster is different. Everything, our approach is different. We followed up a run to the semifinals last year again with becoming a 2 seed, winning 50 games, advancing again to the second round. When we did that years ago, after going to a second seed, we didn't make the playoffs the next year. We didn't follow it up with a play. Like, we followed this right back up. We right back here. What's up? We right here. Same place we was like, we right back here. So that's not a fluke, right? That's not a fluke. For the people, anybody that's confused about what the term fluke means, easily Googleable. This is not that. This is not that.
But hold on, just real quick. These are the same people that said we should have lost and got the 3rd seed to duck Philly. That's what flukes do. You know what real G's do? We don't care who we play. Remember, the same guys. Oh, man, they shouldn't have got the 2 seed. They should have stayed at the 3rd seed because they'd have played Indiana and they would have ducked Philly. Wasn't nobody saying nothing about injuries then. But when we beat Philly, now it's all listen, man. Young man is doing something special, and leave it up to me. Y'all see me all day on social media. I will not tolerate no Knicks disrespect, no Jalen disrespect coming at everybody. Everybody.
Flea, best point guard in the league, Jalen Brunson. Quickly.
Currently, right now, yeah. Playing the best basketball.
You know my answer, yes. And just to break it down real quick, no knock on SGA or Luka or Kyrie or Steph Curry, but let's be realistic. Those guys ain't been dealing with what Jalen Brunson's been dealing with, and look what he's been doing. And the numbers backs it up.
Degree of difficulty.
Come on, definitely. Man. Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
I gotta roll. Hold before y'all segue. I don't know if you started the show, but we absolutely got to take a second to show our love and condolences to
Corey, the homicide.
Corey Homicide Williams. We got to take a second to pay our respects. He passed away. So dealing with colon cancer. So shout out to his family, condolences, love, light, everybody that is affected by his passing. I just wanted to absolutely take a second to say that.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing, man. Rest in peace, Corey Homicide Williams. Met him a couple times, watched him play many a times, and the way his name ring bells, he was demolishing everybody one-on-one. Of course, him on the court, 5-on-5, legendary. But when he made his name, playing guys one-on-one, that was heard around the world. Man, rest in peace, man. And a great brother. See, for me, guys is great ball players, but some guys is better human beings. Great brother, humble. He meet you, he shake your hand, give you advice, chop it up with you. Rest in peace, man. We lost a great guy, man. Corey Homicide Williams.
God bless. I don't get to meet him, but you get to watch somebody on Instagram all the time, and you saw him go from, he was documenting what he was going through when he got sick with cancer and everything. And just, you saw the change, and it was like, okay, but you still pulling for him. And today when I saw it pop up, I stopped. I was walking, I stopped. And it was, you can't believe it because you see the guy, they communicating and everything. All ball would say, yo, he's like the Stephen A. Smith in Australia right now. In a complimentary way.
He was killing it.
Absolutely.
Wow, he was going crazy over there.
He was smashing it in Australia.
Yeah, so that's the ABL, right? In Australian basketball, which is NBL, which is like might be the second biggest league in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, God bless him and his family. It's unfortunate news. Thankfully, the little bit we can get out of it, just what he left behind, how to really do this thing. Like you could go to Australia and start something, and not just be having hoop dreams and it ends there. No, all ball Flea always talk about this. Go be a referee. Go teach. Like there's so many ways to do this, and just a prime example, him putting himself out there. So I appreciate you even bringing that back up, Flea. I was trying to transition out of the Draymond Green thing because
yeah. We could stop. We done with Goofy.
We are, but I just want to make sure that we know he's a fan. He's a fan. And this is proof right here.
Now, if I had to choose between my wife and watching LeBron play for another 7 to 10 years in the NBA, you can catch me at my lawyer's prepping for divorce.
What?
That's not real. OG, that's
an AI.
Don't let Fabian do that to you.
That's an AI, bro. That's not real.
Don't let.
That's not real. That's an AI, bro.
Don't let Fabian do that to you, OG.
I'm gonna be real, man.
OG, chill.
No comment. I'm not even commenting on that, bro.
Just chill.
Sometimes you just gotta let people just. I'm leaving that alone. That was nasty.
Your brother lined you up. He lined you up.
What?
You just now. Yo, he just lined you up.
That's not fake news. That's real. I'm waiting for the real Charles Barkley to pop on here to confirm such things.
Can you play that again, please? I know I ain't just see
play
that.
it again.
Play that again, please, if you don't mind.
Oh man,
what?
He said what?
Now, if I had to choose between my wife and watching LeBron play for another 7 to 10 years in the NBA, you can catch me at my lawyer's prepping for divorce. Now, if I had to choose between my wife and...
Okay. Yo, hold on. In all seriousness, the AI thing is crazy.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, yo, listen, man, I'm being honest. I want to ask him, was that true or was that an AI, bro? y'all not telling me he said that. I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. That was Flea. That's nasty work, Flea.
That's nasty. It's nasty.
Bowen Chen, which part is growing you? The Draymond, hold on, the Draymond Green. You heard what he just said?
Nah, he's talking about Knicks Rehab. That's what's growing on him.
There better be 1,000% out here.
Lord, have mercy.
We ain't no fans out here.
You say that about a man that ain't been on your platform yet?
Yo, chill.
Nah,
chill. Well, get to the next topic. Hurry up, man.
We transitioned.
So,
freaky ass nigga.
He's a fan. So,
the real freaky Ziggy. Come on, man. What?
He's a fan. So now we're running into. We didn't get Flea's game 2 reaction. We probably will in a short amount of time, but there is something that everybody's reacting to, and it's Tibbs is running players to the ground. That's the theme. It's been a theme. It's been his reputation. But now, because so many Knicks players are injured, I did want to play this clip because, like I said, we try to be advantageous out here, give ourselves the one up. Paul Pierce speaking on someone who played alongside, had Tibbs coaching him. He speaks on whether he feels like the players are being run to the ground or not on the New York Knicks. That's Paul Pierce on Tom Thibodeau or just the Knicks injuries. They've been around all season long. Randall went down. Mitchell Robinson, he's been injury prone. OG just pulled up hamstring, might be torn. Game 2 against the Indiana Pacers, a victory that we had over them. What do you think about that, All Ball? Do you think? I know you were a proponent against it the other day. Tibbs running our players to the ground, but do you agree with Paul Pierce? Is he shedding any light for you?
No, what I heard is Guys don't want to practice and be coached. That's what I heard. Like, let's be realistic. I'm just being for real. When he had Derrick Rose became the youngest MVP ever. Let's mention that before y'all mention him running somebody in the ground. Jimmy Butler, I don't think he has a problem with Tibbs. My thing is this: Tibbs is working with what he got. Like, how do we not understand that? Boggs is hurt. Burks can't do nothing on the court. Deuce McBride is not having a great series like he had in Philly. Mitchell Robinson is injury prone. OG's injury prone before he came to New York. Julius Randle got hurt going for a layup and landed on his shoulder. That's not running nobody into the ground. These guys are having freak accidents, freak injuries. You hear Josh Hart complaining? You hear Devin Chisel complaining? What I heard is guys is lazy.
He thinks guys are lazy, please.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
What I heard is guys is lazy and guys don't want to be coached. And this is why, a lot of players isn't legendary and isn't great and not going to win championships. I have no problem with how Tibbs coach. Anybody. Oh my God. Y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Right. So I understand what Paul Pierce is saying, and people are gonna kind of go with him because he played with Tibbs and played at that level. But I'm reading between the fine lines. Guys want to go where they ain't gonna be coached, they ain't gotta work hard. And to me, you should want to work hard. You should want to practice. You should want to get better. Once again, I've not heard one player complain about Tom Thibodeau. Maybe I'm bugging. I haven't heard Derrick Rose say anything. I haven't heard Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. Them guys right now look like they having a blast on the court. And Tom Thibodeau is coaching his butt off. He's working with what he got. I've never seen a coach play players that didn't play regular season or NBA playoff games. I don't care how many people you got on the roster. He's trying to win basketball games because if you put Precious Achiuwa in a game at times or Deuce McBride at times, them dudes is not producing. He cannot give a basketball game. So I totally disagree. That's just another hate, another excuse to rain on our parade. That's just my opinion. We don't have a 9-man roster that we can rotate. We only got 6, 7 guys. And now OG is hurt. Now Mitchell Robinson is hurt. Jalen Brunson is banged up. If we watch all season, Brunson is getting banged up, throwing around on the court. That's not from high minutes. Them guys is, remember, Flea, we not like Indiana where we running up and down the court, running gun. So that's different if we doing that. So I disagree with Paul Pierce and I disagree with what they're saying about Tom Thibodeau. Listen, man, he's a good coach. He's not my cup of tea, but he's starting to grow on me. Pause. And I think he's doing the best with what he has. And if he wasn't coaching like this and those guys playing those high minutes, we wouldn't be in the playoffs in the second round right now. We'll be bumped. So I totally disagree. OG's injury prone. Mitchell Robinson is injury prone. Julius Randle literally fell from a layup on his shoulder. So I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. As much as I would want to, because you know me, I don't mind kicking dirt on somebody. But I'm not agreeing with that. Nah, I'm not doing that. Nope.
Flea, what you thinking? Especially after this Paul Pierce saying that, and just in general, how we feel about the Knicks injuries and does Paul Pierce have any credence to what he's saying?
I just that's an easy, it's an easy out. I think it's easy, lazy for me. I think I'll roll with that word too. I think that's lazy that we want to put some kind of blame on Tom Thibodeau. Look, fact remains is this. We don't have a ton of ball handlers, right? We don't have a lot of guys on our roster. Now, that's something that we need to take a look at, right? In terms of what I'm always saying, upgrade the roster, things that we need to look at in the summertime that we need to get better at. Ball handling is absolutely something that we need to address. Somebody that can come in and spell Jalen Brunson and we don't have to worry about them turning the ball over. Like a veteran point guard, you know, and I know there's not a bunch of them running around, but that's something that we need to address. But we don't have that. So you want this guy to win with what he has, right? You don't want us to create any excuses for reasons why we may lose, but in the same breath, we're going to want to talk about him running his players into the ground. So I ask, what do you want him to do as a coach? Who do you want him to play more minutes so that other guys can rest and the result is winning basketball games? What do you want him to do? So I just think that at this point, they can't spend too much time praising the Knicks. They can't spend too much time talking about what we've done, the right things that we've done, the success that we've had with what we do have. So the next talking point is, okay, where can we poke holes in what they're doing? So now we're poking holes at the injuries, like OG alluded to. All of it to me is freak injuries. OG was playing the game of his life before he got hurt. That was the best game you saw OG Anunoby in a Knicks uniform play before he got hurt. He was playing the best game he played with us. So to say that has to do something with being overplayed, playing too many minutes, I don't think so. The dude had 28 points in 28 minutes. He was perfectly fine. He looked great out there, and he was doing that while Brunson was down. Brunson was out of that second. He was going that whole second quarter, and that's when OG really turned it up for us and really became the offense we needed. So it's like guys are stepping up, and now it looks like they're getting run into the ground because they're stepping up, playing more and more minutes. Right? The rotation will look different if Julius Randle was playing. Rotation will look different if Mitchell Robinson was still playing. Guys will fall back into order. The rotations will go back into. They asked Josh Hart after game 2, well, what adjustments do you see that need to be made now that OG may be down? He said, for me, nothing, except maybe be a little more aggressive on the offensive end. But aside from that, nothing changes for me. You know what I'm saying? So everybody understands their role for us. Everybody understands their role. There's no trying to figure this thing out. We are in what? Second week of May, right? We know our roles. We're in the second round of the playoffs. There's nothing new that we have to figure out. But all we're doing is just continuing to step up as, you know, these freak injuries happen. It is what it is. Everybody's hurt this time of year. Everybody hurt.
Real quick before Fabian goes, the last player I heard talk about they don't practice is Paul George, and where's he at right now? But then you see a Minnesota team that as soon as they play a game, they hit the gym. Where they at right now? So for me, like I said, Fleet, what I heard from Paul Pierce is guys is lazy. Guys is lazy. Guys is, listen, man, they getting all this money. They think they bigger than the game. They don't want to be coached. And that's what it is. How do you say to yourself, I see something special over there. We could possibly win a title and do something that's never been done, but I'm not going to go over there because I got to work hard and practice. What? Hold on. Fleet, let me repeat that because once again, you played that level, which you want to, I know you know you're very humble, but no, let's be realistic, Fleet. I can be the missing piece to the Knicks. I can do something that's never been done, but I'm not going to go over there because I don't want to practice and work hard. That's what Paul Pierce said, bro.
Yeah, man. And for him to be okay with that, that's the other thing. The era that you come from, it just sounded like the tone was like, and that's, you know, and just guys don't want to play for him. And right. Okay, that's okay. Like, so, what are we doing?
So what type of tone are we setting for the youth?
Yeah.
Am I going to tell my son who loves basketball, who loves to compete, now don't play for that coach because he's going to have you working hard and practicing? What?
I've seen several clips over the last, I would say, 2 weeks. Several clips from several different current players, several different like execs, coaches, from all different spots in the league and in the basketball community. And all of them say the reason that the Europeans are ahead of us is because they practice more and play less. The reason the Europeans are ahead of us is because they practice more and play less. And I mean, if you don't understand that from just a practical standpoint, then we can't really have the conversation. But it matters. Practice matters, especially as the game is getting younger and younger. Guys are getting the opportunity to play at this level way younger. We're looking at a kid right now. People have Minnesota Timberwolves winning the championship now, and
Exactly.
they are led by a 22-year-old kid. 22-year-old kid. He's a man, excuse me, but to us, he is a kid. 22 years old. He hasn't seen anything in this world yet, but he is in the position right now to lead this team. So it's like you got to understand that the precedence that we're setting for these kids is important. You got to practice. You got to practice. You got to
Fabian,
work in your craft.
but before you go, let's just put a little respect on Tom Thibodeau's name. Look at the guys that's up under him that people say he can he can't make great players. Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler. Let's not forget he went to Minnesota. Look at Cat now. And now Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. He's did nothing but make all-stars, MVPs, and all NBA players. Put a little respect on the man's name. That's all I'm saying. The floor is yours, Fabian. Put a little respect on his name.
Joakim Noah was a defensive player of the year.
Thank you.
Under Tom Thibodeau.
Luol Deng and them guys for that
All-stars.
little bit of time.
All stars.
Come on, man.
Just hearing Paul Pierce say that Celtic, he saw Tibbs there. Tibbs was on the sideline, didn't have real control over who has the minutes, who plays for how many minutes on the Celtics. And just that experience alone gives him a lot of credibility. And then especially being a veteran, him, KG, and Ray Allen, he spoke to his truth. But he was straight hater, Paul Pierce. You joining the damn Knicks bandwagon and all that. The Knicks hate, Knicks for clicks bandwagon, bro. Because at this point, all you're doing is showing that what it doesn't take, what recipe it doesn't work for this team. Because we don't have veterans. That's exactly who we don't want on the team because they're not going to go run through a wall. That's what, like Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, all those guys were young. Why would we want old guys to go do this? They're not going to do that. If we had old guys on this team, they probably would have been flamed out. And then look what the veterans are doing. All the current veterans are actually, ironically, flaming out. LeBron, Kawhi, Steph Curry, KD, where they at?
Giannis.
Embiid, if he's a veteran, he might be 30 years old, Flea, to your point from earlier. But those are the superstar veteran guys who are supposed to tell the next generation what to do. And thank the Lord for Ant-Man. Because he looked at KD, 36 years old, and he goes, that's my OG. I play a different style of play. I bet you he would run through a window for Tom Thibodeau. I always make the same exact point about Tom Thibodeau. He earned my respect when the way he sat Kemba Walker down, the way he benched him was amazing because he called out RJ Barrett in the same press conference and he gave so much respect. He made sure to give respect to Kemba Walker, knowing this is New York, that guy's from here, he has family here, and this is not his fault. Just the way he handled himself in that press conference, ever since then, I've kind of given him leeway. I didn't like the way or his rotations and stuff like that, but it really wasn't his fault looking back on it. He earned all the credibility in the world when Quentin Grimes has every reason to go crazy in Detroit and put up 30, and he doesn't. RJ Barrett is the only guy that I will say got better away from Tibbs. Maybe it's the system, maybe it's Randall. We don't know right now. But to All Ball's point the other day, if Alec Burks is not on that court, I gotta take Tibbs' word for it because he's in practice watching all this. And the players always sound like they respect Tom Thibodeau. They never sound like they're trying to play him. The only guy we ever heard from was OG and Obi Toppin on a recording. Whoever recorded that, I don't know who recorded that. And here's an example though of DiVincenzo. After that poll came out, 46% of the people who Paul Pierce admittedly said was the veterans, mostly voting against Tom Thibodeau because they don't want to practice, which makes no sense to me. But his DiVincenzo, after that came out, He says BS about that's all he has to say about the poll. A lot of you guys don't play for Tibbs. I play for Tibbs. On the outside looking in, you have a certain viewpoint. When you are inside and play for Tibbs, like I said, it's BS. You don't know him. You don't know how the organization runs. You don't know how the practices run. You don't know anything. You see, honestly, on the sideline, how he acts to us, that's dedication. That's how much love and dedication he gives to us every day. Like I said, that poll is BS and inaccurate. So there's just somehow he just earns everyone's respect, but the people who voted. Somehow we get to the second round on the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. It looks like down, everybody's down, and we're on our way there. He's earned my respect, and it's hard to just for you to earn my respect like that. So I can only imagine if I was a player, I probably would have to feel like DiVincenzo.
But you know what? I'm gonna just leave it at this. It says a lot when a player or players step up to bat for you, because normally, Flea Fade guys won't say nothing. Guys won't say nothing.
DiVincenzo played one season for this dude and is talking about him like this.
Come on, bro.
One season. He hasn't even completed the season. We still in the fight. But he's played a regular season for this dude and is talking like that. Like,
And Flea, that means something, because to what Paul Pierce was saying, these young guys, they got a lot of power, they have a lot of money, they have a right to not care about the game. They have a right to just go about their business, play, I'm out. So for DiVincenzo to back up his coach, it goes to show you the love and respect they have for him. Once again, I don't hear it's play empowerment. I don't see no player not being scared to go, yo, man, he's running us in the ground, man. We playing too many minutes. Them dudes look happy on the court. They don't want to come off the court. And once again, big shout out to my pops. He always told me, Stevie Wonder, got a song. You got to work with what you got.
mm-hmm.
I'm not playing Jericho Sims in Burks. I'm sorry. If Deuce McBride was doing what he's supposed to be doing, if Precious at times doesn't look a little timid, then we got that 8, sometimes 9-man rotation. But to Fleet, like he said, if Randall is hurt, if OG is in and out the lineup, Mitchell Robinson is hurt, Bogdanovich is hurt, what is he supposed to do? Throw away basketball games? No, you know what? And I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau was talking to them guys before every game. Hey, fellas, how y'all feeling today? Hey, Hart, you can give me 48 today? Hey, Brunson, can you give me 40? And if them guys are saying nah, then I'm pretty sure he won't. But you know what them guys is doing? They eating healthy. They taking care of their body. They turning their bodies into machines. And them dudes is not complaining and they working. All I heard from Paul Pierce is guys being lazy. And once again, I'm going to leave mines on this note. You just told the youth and just players all over the world, don't go play for the Knicks because they're going to make you work hard and they're going to make you practice. The most corniest SHIT I've ever heard from a veteran player that we consider one of the greats and a champion. He should be ashamed of himself. And if I'm Kevin Garnett, who's one of the hardest workers we've ever seen, he need to call him out on that on a platform, because he's dead wrong for that. You do not send that message in the world to the youth. No, that was wrong.
See, people forget the core, like the core of our team. Think about this for a second. The core of our team. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. Those guys played for Jay Wright in college. Jay Wright is a guy that demanded a lot from his players. And you know what? Those guys won 2 championships at Villanova. Julius Randle played for John Calipari, another guy, demanded a lot from you as a player, right? OG Anunoby went to college, played for Tom Crean at Indiana University, a guy that demanded a lot from you as a player. Like the core of our basketball team have all come up and played for hard-nosed coaches that demand a lot from you. So we got a special bunch. Like we got a special bunch, guys that want to play for Tibbs. And so I appreciate these guys, standing up and letting the rest of the league and letting the rest of the world know that it is a joy to play for this dude. You know what I'm saying? You are going to get something out of playing for this dude. So shame on anybody that put their name on that anonymous survey.
Right. That's the other part. Like that's not tough whatsoever. Just what's so hard
Goofy.
about everybody got a podcast now, but you don't have nothing to say, huh? About this.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There was something else before we get to the game 3 preview and some other topics. We touched on it a little bit, old boy, with the off season and what to do. I know it's a little bit out there, but it was interesting. I that we would talk about it earlier, old boy, because OG Anunoby hurt game in, was 8 games into the playoffs. Randall's not there. What do we do in the off season? And I happen to find this clip again. He's the leader of the hate bandwagon apparently, but Draymond spoke to the Randall thing, and this is kind of interesting.
So think if you got Julius Randle, and early on, I actually thought opposite, and Jalen's changed my mind. Early on, I thought if y'all had Julius Randle, it gave y'all a much better chance because you had that second scorer and this, that. However, the way Jalen is playing, I think Julius would actually be in the way.
Wow. See, I said that, and people on like Knicks Fan TV and everything, they were like giving me tomatoes in the chats. And I said, I feel like the offense flows much better. And I think the ascension of Brunson has to do with getting RG out and Randall out of the way, and they flow better. So that means you maybe think we trade him this summer and maybe find another piece?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that you have to trade him. However, all of the pieces have to fit, right? Like you got Josh Hart getting downhill, you got Jalen Brunson getting downhill, and then, even Dante's getting downhill. And so if you have Julius on the court, I'm going to sag off a little more because I'm going to trust that, Julius is going to shoot the 3, but I'm much better being in help position and then closing out late and getting a good contest. And he can make some 3s, right? But that's not the strongest suit of his game.
Too much ISO from him. Every time he gets in the playoffs, he defaults to his ISO game instead of when he catches the ball, making a quick decision like you do. I mean, I think like the basketball, there's like his fitness is amazing. His skill is obviously unbelievable. But on a basketball IQ basis, he kind of gets into this ISO, and it's not what the league's about right now. It's just so easy to counter, right?
No, the ball stops. The ball stops for sure. And so if you look at it, and here's how I also look at it, J. Cal, again, and it's not necessarily that it's like, oh, he needs to be traded. But if you look at how well the Knicks are flowing, right? You got Jalen, you got Dante, you got Josh Hart, you got OG, and you got Hardenstein, right? Well, you got to pull one of those guys out of the lineup to put Julius in there.
Yeah.
And so which one of them do you pull out?
Yeah, I'm sick of seeing both of them on that screen.
So that was, just a touch on the offseason a little bit. And, it is a playoff run. It's back-to-back seasons without Julius Randle. We might get to the conference finals without Julius Randle. I'm already, how I stood, but we didn't need Julius Randle to make it to the conference finals. We got OG in there. But what do you get to Flea first? What do you think about that, Flea? Like, we don't need Julius Randle. He's slowing up Brunson. He's gonna, mess with the lineup.
Again, just something else to talk about. I just feel like before Julius Randle got hurt, we were a damn good team. In January, before he got hurt, we were running over teams, right? We found a rhythm. We found a rotation. Josh Hart was coming off the bench. I mean, I know we've watched Josh become a starter, but let's not act like he doesn't know how to come off the bench and be that spark off the bench. So, let's not act like January is so far away and we forgot what type of team we had when we were fully healthy, right? So, we're finding success without Julius. Am I okay with going forward without him? Yes, but we have to replace the production. The production has to be replaced. We cannot think that we can go forward and just, stick OG in the lineup, go forward with this 5. The 5 that we have right now can't be the 5 we start the season with next year, fellas. It can't be. And we think that we're going to be, rolling into another 2 seed. Everybody will be better. Everybody will be looking to get better. People will be coming back from injuries. People will be having chips on their shoulders as the season starts next season. We cannot think that we start Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, OG, Hartenstein next season and come out with 50 wins again. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So I think it's too early to think about potential pieces that we could get, but at no point do I think we're going to go into the summer and just run it back, as everybody says. Nah, I don't think we can run it back. We got to add something.
Well, for me, I want to say first and foremost, just because they have a bigger platform, I'm not giving them props. We've been talking about this. And I think it's not being spoken about enough as far as the future for the Knicks, because I think it's very bright. And we do have some problems. It's good problems, though. But to answer the initial question, I wouldn't trade Julius Randle. I wouldn't mind trying a small ball lineup. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, OG, Julius Randle. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Hartenstein. He might want too much money. But to Flea's point, even if we got Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG, Randle, Hartenstein, Hart coming off the bench, Hart still could play starter minutes. So I think we're in a great position. But I think it's going to be tough. Do we give OG the max? Listen, man, he's injury prone. A lot of his injuries is non-contact. That's a little scary. Are we going to be able to keep Hartenstein? Fellas. Oh, okay, y'all was on pause. I didn't know what was going on.
I'm listening. We're listening.
Yeah, so I think these are problems that needs to be spoken about. We've been talking about this, so I don't want us to think, and all our people, that support us, we've been talking like this. So I don't want to give them the props. You know what I'm saying? But Flea, I really think we should think about the future, because what we're doing this season is legendary. And I agree, and you big on that, Flea. We have to go into the next season upgrading, getting better. And I think what we need to worry about is our bench. If we're not super upgrading from Randall, I don't see getting rid of him. I see us trying to fill that bench out. Like I said, what are we going to do with Burks, Bogdanovich, Sims? Like I said, Hartenstein. Remember, before Mitchell Robinson got hurt, if I'm not mistaken, Hartenstein was coming off the bench. So, what are we going to do about that? I think we do have a problem. It's a great problem to have, but I'm very skeptical about OG, man. I love OG, but can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? Listen, I think OG and Randall is the main reasons we're either going to win a championship or we're not. Like Flea said, without those two guys healthy all season, we're not doing what we're doing this season. Next season, now we're going to have the bullseye on our backs. So yeah, I wouldn't look for trades for Julius Randle, and I think Julius Randle now, from the sideline and from the outside looking in, I think he's smart enough to know what he has to do to fit in. I don't think he's going to be a ball stopper like everybody think he is. I think he's going to do the right thing for us to win ball games. And once again, he's a former All-Star in All-Third NBA. Who doesn't need one of those on their team? So for me, I think our problem is OG and Hartenstein. Do we give OG the max? And do we pay Hartenstein? And how much do we pay him? Because these guys are going to want money, and rightfully so. But do we overpay and revert back to the old Knicks, or do we look to see what we're going to do? But we have to fill out that bench. Like I said, I love Deuce, but none of these guys is untouchable, especially if y'all not going to be playing up to the potential and giving bench product. If you ain't going to be producing off the bench, to me, that's where we lack at. That's where we lack at. So I think instead of thinking about trading Randall, we got to figure out what we're going to do with the bench, because we need a bench, man.
I was always just highly critical of Julius Randle. Always. Flea knows that. It was easy to be critical of the team before we were like not just a playoff team, but just after the OG trade is a different level. Last year's playoffs was another thing, and it was a different Julius Randle. So with what Draymond Green is saying again. I'm surprised because he does come up like a smart dude to me in terms of watching the game and just being able to break it down. I'm surprised you didn't watch the Knicks when they got OG Anunoby. They didn't watch the Knicks with OG Anunoby and Julius Randle. There's no way he watched footage on that. Impossible.
Nobody
Because there's no way. But when that Miami Heat game when he went down,
we were thumping them.
With Jimmy Butler.
Yo,
Yeah,
the whole world said we gave up too much when we got OG. So I know for a fact none of them thought OG was good like this. And they said we ain't watching the Knicks. They just threw away the season. Because people were very high on Barrett and quickly. So I know they wasn't watching. And just real quick before you finish, I think we got rid of the ball stopping a guy that clammed everything up. And that was RJ Barrett. I don't think Randall was the problem. I think it was Barrett.
Well, I always felt like there was a problem. Those two, there's been three lefties, and they're all ball stoppers. Like Jalen Brunson was learning how to not be a ball stopper throughout his whole tenure here. But I think Barrett, you see over there in Toronto, was going crazy, and he looks skilled, and I give him his props. He's shooting like 55% over there. But again, for him to just call him something, just say that someone's just settling for shots. That's what my knock on him was prior to the summer. Before he got his ankle injured again, he sat down and admittedly said, "Yo, I saw myself on TV, and yo, I can't lie. I was shooting too many jump shots." This is after I know for a fact the Knicks were in the media, hyping him up, saying that it's okay. They're shooting 8 3-pointers a game, and they were like talking about Fred Katz wrote about this, and I'm like, why are you bigging up the fact he's shooting 8 3-pointers? I don't want to see him shoot 8 3-pointers. We're not a top 3-point shooting team. We're an offensive rebounding machine, offensive rebounding team, and it's better if he's closer to the basket or spends more time in the paint because he creates fouls. The first thing I said about after game one was that's why we miss him. Not just because of the scoring and then all the other lazy takes. It's he will give those unspoken timeouts, create those 20-second timeouts at the free throw line purposefully. We know he's in the game. He's going to the line 8 to 10 times. Whether he's shooting 70 or 80% or not, it doesn't matter to me because that's something that you can control. The stuff you can't control, what could you do about it? But Julius Randle becoming better like that, and he's going to get free throws, he won me over because now he's bumped down to the second, third, fourth best player, depending on how you look at him and the rest of his team. And even with this, Julius Randle was asked last year, 2023, in October 2023, right? October 25th, 2023, right before the season started. They asked him about his contract. Does he regret not re-signing for more money? And he said, I've always said I want to win a championship. Bring a championship here. Continue to get better. Continue to stay on the path of building year by year. So is good. So is good so far. And the other thing was, in relation to like the trade rumors, we've been in every trade rumor since I've been here, good or bad. It's always a rumor. So again, these are things that he knows. Dealing with the New York media, he has to answer questions like that. And I don't know if we're going to trade for somebody and they can really deal with this. Like he's already set in stone. He's gotten better. One thing I'm always a fan of with anybody is anybody that gets better and has shown it. Brunson has gotten better. All these players that have gotten better, we've kept them. I don't know. RJ Barrett was always up and down. Emmanuel quickly got better when he was here. And for me, Randall got better, man. Like he wasn't just the ISO guy. Again, I beg all you guys to watch the New York Knicks at their best was against the Portland Trail Blazers at the Garden. They just whipped the ball around like crazy, and we went nuts. Also, another game was when the McBride game, when Julius Randle and Brunson didn't have good games at all. But defensively, even though he lapses a lot, he bodies a lot of rebounds. That body and that presence being there, it hurt Embiid. That's a big body, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Now he's starting to wear down a little bit. If you guys want to point to Tibbs and blame Tibbs for that, you do what you want to do. For me, I wanted to see him in this playoffs try to bully people. I wanted to see him, how he would have reacted. I would have loved to have seen him against Embiid when he pulled that against Mitchell Robinson in the playoffs, because we need that big body to lean on somebody like that when they're injured. Remember, he was injured last year against Jimmy Butler. So it's not even fair to say that. I would love to bring him back, to be honest with you. That contract runs out in a year from now. What are you really going to trade for him? Because right now we know the blueprint. Like we keep mentioning throughout the show already. LeBron and these guys, they're out the window. They're out the window. They're out the door. We don't care about you anymore. That style is not what wins games. We need consistency. He's a part of being consistent. He respects Tom Thibodeau. And remember, we went through our relationship problems with Julius Randle, booing the crowd like the way that he did. And he's learned since then. So there's a lot with him that we've gone through that is not just emotional. It's the fact that he has shown growth. He has shown like, yo, hold on, I'm bugging out right now. He announced his wife is the one that told him, yo, you got to calm down, stop talking to the fans. So he's a little as intimate as possible as you can possibly be with this team. They don't let the players talk to the fans like that. Again, IQ, Manuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Josh Hart, they were all just saying these are former teammates and current teammates, how he communicates with them. Like all these things matter. Like, don't get me wrong, what are you going to tease him with? A Giannis trade? And then what? Giannis ain't been out of the playoffs back-to-back seasons. What has he done for them? So Tom Thibodeau ain't coaching him. So what's the excuse for him? It happens. So I'd rather stick to what we know. Giannis you trade Randall for Giannis. I think anyone would do that in a heartbeat. But there's still a risk there. Who knows if he thinks he's the man? We don't know how that's gonna work. But that ain't realistic. And it has to be a realistic trade and upgrade before I even really entertain that.
Mm-hmm. Shit, good point. I ain't got nothing to say behind that. But Flea, next question real quick, Flea. You can be brief. Do you give OG the max if you're the Knicks president, GM, front office owner?
I don't even think he's a max player.
Whoa, hold on, Flea. When I say max, I'm not saying that 250, 300.
Oh, you're talking about the most money he could possibly get.
Right.
Give it to him.
Right. Whatever the max is for him.
I think you have to. Unless you have assurances, right? And I keep saying this kid's name, but unless you have assurances that we could like get Mikal Bridges, like unless that's like the insurance for losing OG to free agency, you have to. Like you have to. How do we allow that to walk out the door knowing the type of team that we are, the style of play that we play, right? Like we make our bones on defense and rebounding, and OG is a big part of how we defend. He completely changed our team. So it's like I would have to. He has to be at the top of the priority list, I think, for us.
Okay. Great answer. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
You know how I feel about him. How he I think he's obviously Brunson is the lead guy. But the addition of OG Anunoby makes us, to me, is what makes us the championship contenders, and we could battle anybody.
Yeah.
The Wolves. I think the Wolves are really the only one that present another, a bunch of Wolves on defense. That's a different story. But OG gives us that opportunity. The only thing is, man, he's shown he's fragile. Like that ain't tipped at all. There's how often is he gonna get hurt? That elbow injury is nuts. Never heard of it before for a basketball player. It's just and it's not like it just happened in New York. It's been happening in Toronto. He was injured on the bench. Well, that was a freak one because that was, I think, the surgery went for his liver or whatever it was when he was sitting out and then when the championship over there with Toronto.
Yeah.
So that was a kind of a freak thing, and we just don't know. Remember, these guys are giants. You never so when they work out. That's what I was saying about all ball from the last couple of years. I said about Julius Randle. That's not normal. 6'9", 250 like that, chiseled, and you just play every game. That is not normal. Anunoby's a big guy. He looks like he's 6'9". He might be 6'7" with 7-foot wingspan. That ain't normal. So the max I think is hovering around $40 million a year. That's tough, man. Especially when you ask the leader of the team to take less. And he could have got a little bit more with Dallas, whoever it was, and pushed for whatever. Randall took less. A lot of these guys are taking less. I think that's tough to really just say, here you go, here's $40 million, bro. As much as I love him, I think you still have to prove a lot more before I give you 4 years guaranteed $40 million a year. Especially when you're like I was saying, he's playing for $150. This is a $150 million contract he's playing for this playoffs right now. And to me, it's like, it's a lot.
I would hate for the Bucks to pick him up.
Right.
I would hate
or Philly or something crazy
to have him. I would hate, it wouldn't mess us up, but like I would hate for him to be on Oklahoma City next season, just helping them go to the next level. I would hate, you know what I mean? Like I would hate to see him flourishing. You know, San Antonio is about to start making, you know, whatever, you know,
pair him back up with Siakam in Indiana. Something
right?
crazy.
Like I would hate to see him somewhere where he really like okay, Boston is soft. Now they got their guy. Now they got Derek White and OG Anunoby on that team. Like I would hate to see him somewhere else where it would absolutely affect us. So we got to figure something out. But I want to bring him back. I do want to bring him back.
That's the reality of it. I didn't think about that. I was ranting.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a kidney shot. Indiana getting OG is crazy.
You know, like that's it's like damn. Like,
the Bucks really can't get him.
Indiana getting him. They probably can't afford him, but there's teams out there. Philly got a boatload of money right now. A boatload of money. Like if they just want somebody on the wing to be a defensive stop, that changes their whole team.
Listen, look at that upgrade from Tobias Harris to OG. Lord have mercy. We right back in the gutter. So yeah, Fleet. That's why I love you on here. You bring it full circle, and you say things that people don't even think about. Fleet, he just jammed us up with that.
Yo,
word,
crazy. My God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
My nigga.
I say
Fleet had his glasses on the whole time, my nigga.
Right. I say before we get to this last topic or to the next topic, hopefully, like you said, we could talk him to take 35 or something like that, maybe, so we could try to get some help on the bench or something. But yeah, Fleet, I agree. Now that you put it like that, yeah, we gotta give him that money.
Come on, bro. Like we got to.
Nah, you just what was the last trade you just said? Tobias Harris for OG?
No. I'm just saying, look at that upgrade because they not, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Tobias Harris? This is his last year. Yeah, they're not gonna
resign. They're not gonna resign him. But they got tons of money. You know, how do you sneeze at Philly when they come back with Paul George and OG Anunoby?
Lord,
and he got us before Flea. Daryl Morey got us before the Jeremy Lin thing.
Yeah, but like, how do you look at Philly and say they're not better when they pick up OG and Paul George?
And still got Maxey and Embiid. Please go.
How do you say they're not better? You know,
go to the next topic because I don't even want to think about that. Wow.
Fish has been in here going crazy. Unload Flea's contract, free up money to sign OG.
What up, Fish?
What up, Fish?
Big Fish in the building. The real Charles Barkley in the building. I spotted you just now. Wasn't that Joakim Noah's exact contract? Or it may be. Damn, right? Looking back on it, the OG to be or not to be OG is way different than signing Joakim Noah at 55 years old. Great point, real Charles Barkley. Game 3 preview. What do we expect? I want Flea to go first real quick, all ball, because he didn't get to react to game 2 and maybe the whole series in general, and then transition us to game 3. What do you expect to see? Anything differently? What is your feeling going on?
Oh man, they're gonna come out punching, right? They're gonna be at home. It's first playoff. This is the first playoffs they've been in Indy in a long time, right? They had a home playoff game against the Bucks. It was a madhouse in there, so I expect it to be extremely loud, high pressure situation for the Knicks because you want to give yourself some cushion by going up 3-0, right? You want to give yourself an opportunity to, not piss off a game, but be okay if you do drop a game in this series, right? So I expect us, to try to figure this thing out, right? We injured, we hurt, and we gotta. It's hard to find a rhythm when you lose guys, right? That first 5. I always talk about that first 5 minutes of a game. You kind of got to see where the team is at, what kind of energy we have, our body language, how we're fighting out there. And I don't, for a team that's already playing from behind in terms of guys' availability, we got to come out and punch them in the mouth early. Like we got to match their physicality, we got to match their energy. They thought that they were going to be able to run us out the gym. I was able to watch, watching game 2, I was able to see that we could keep up. Right? we were getting a lot of fast break points. You know, maybe that's why OG is hurt, because he was getting up and down, right? The pace was fast, and we were matching, you know, energy and intensity, especially getting up and down. So I expect us to be able to fight out a win. I expect a win tonight. Every time our backs has been against the wall, especially going, you know, into these playoffs. Every time our back is against the wall, and against the wall meaning people counting us out in certain games. When we went into game 3 against Philly up 2-0 on the road, folks counted us out. Oh, we're gonna lose that game, right? We got to come into this game with wanting to step on their throats. The key for me, Halliburton got comfortable in game 2. Halliburton had a lot of tough shots. He woke up. He was an offensive threat in game 2. I want us to get back to minimizing him and how he sees the rim. He's always going to be a great facilitator, right? He's always going to be able to find guys. He's great at that. But when he starts seeing the ball go in the basket, his confidence starts getting up. He starts taking long threes. He starts trying to get downhill. He starts trying to look for his shot a lot more. We looked like a completely different team when we were taking him out the game. I expect us to find a way to minimize him. And if we could do that, and like I said, play with pace, match their energy, be physical, I think we'll be fine in game 3.
You think, old ball?
What's the sense of going against us now?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changed. Back against the wall all season. This is where great coaching comes in play. This is where Burks, Precious, and Deuce comes up big for us. Once again, as long as we got Jalen Brunson, we got a chance. And I'm going with history. Normally, when guys have a great game, they do not follow it up except for one player, Jalen Brunson. As great as Halliburton played, I don't see him duplicating that because history shows that. There's only a selective few of players that back-to-back 30, 40, 50-point games or just great games in general. I expect us to be physical. I expect us to play smart, but I expect Tibbs to go into his coaching bag. And like I said, I see Burks and Precious playing some major minutes, and Deuce owes us a game. McBride, we need you to pull through today.
Deuce plays well on the road, though.
Yes, exactly.
OG, he plays well on the road.
We need him to take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Brunson, and we need Deuce to come up big. But I think we win tonight. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. Of course, Indiana, you know, they're going to be excited. The fixes are already in almost with Rick Carlisle, you know, crying and complaining. But I'm looking forward to a great game, a close game. And like I said, once again, we got Jalen Brunson. We got the best player in the series. So I'm rolling with that. Knicks, baby.
Yeah, I think you touched on it with Deuce McBride and Alec Burks. Alec Burks, I think he just has to play. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. Somebody gotta get a breather. We gotta make up for the Quentin Grimes trade. I don't think we just make up for it, but we lost Bogey, man. Like that was the guy who had those, just a pure shooter. And Burks at least get something out of it where he can just give this guy a break. Because this team sucks defensively. They don't play defense. So why not give Burks some confidence? And then maybe he's 6'6". I don't think TJ, what's his name? McConnell, ain't doing none of that to him. I don't think he's gonna lock Burks up like that and possibly start getting some bigger bodies and on TJ McConnell and force Jim Carrey, Liar, Fire Marshal Bill to think a little bit.
Yeah.
Make him think. Yo, maybe he ain't that good. Let me sit him down again. Because he benched him twice and we know he was giving Brunson problems. So we got to make him think. Also, that front court was having issues. Pascal Siakam, 7 of 18. Miles Turner, 3 of 11. Aaron Nesmith, 2 of 7. A lot of that changes, right? When a lot of role players. And Pascal Siakam, hard to call. You lost a lot of money. Go ahead, Fleet.
Can we stop allowing Obi Toppin to get confidence?
Thank
Obi
you.
has looked amazing in the first 2 games. Big shout out to Obi Toppin. Obi, if you're listening, you have played well, my brother. You have played well. Hit open shots, playing with energy, rebounding the basketball. Indiana doesn't play defense, but I see you flying around out there, getting to loose balls. Like, big shout out to Obi Toppin. Knickerbockers, can we neutralize him, please? Can we remember that he's on the basketball court? He's playing extremely well.
That's Fleet. That's going to be the difference tonight. I expect Neesmith. I expect Siakam to have good games. I expect Turner and them to have good games because they haven't had a great game yet. But we cannot allow Obi Toppin to score 15 to 20 points and dictate the pace. No, we can't have him get a big rebound, get a big and one, hit a big 3-point shot. So, right, I think that's the game. Exactly. So, as long as we shut down the other, in the playoff game is crazy, and you lose.
OG, in a playoff game between the legs, though?
Hopefully, Rick Carlisle sent him for that.
I loved it, though. I'm not mad. Like, that type of energy is like, okay. The moment's not too big. All right. And he finished it. It. Like,
and we finished him.
Yes.
You won the battle. We won the war.
Yes.
Make him think too. Obi Toppin, he shouldn't be comfortable out there. And that's it. That's really I see Rick Carlisle got fined $35,000 for that. I think he knew that was coming. The other guys, TJ McConnell. I feel like the players probably told him, you better say something before we do. And he made sure to announce that, and the players didn't say anything, and they went the total opposite way. And then you wouldn't just contradict the coach like that. So I think that was totally intentional. And somebody said they don't expect the officiating to change. What does that even mean?
Well, hold on, just real quick. We watched all the games. Game 2, the officiating wasn't bad. They let us play. Indiana was very aggressive. McConnell was very aggressive with Brunson, and he wasn't getting no calls. So I don't even see what's Indiana's beef. Like Rick Carlisle, I don't know what he's talking about. Game 2, we was going crazy watching that because it was very physical. It reminded me of the 90s basketball where they let you play. They not, you know what I'm saying? They let the players decide it. So once again, quote my brother Fleet. Now that the rabbit got the gun, y'all want to cry and complain.
Right, come on. Like, you know what I mean?
You see what I said yesterday? Big shout out to Uncle Jerome. Indiana. Y'all better learn how to squabble.
You better learn how to squabble, baby.
Come on.
Yo, hold on. That's my all-time. That might be my all-time favorite word ever in like hip-hop history. Or what?
Teach your team how to squabble.
Yo, squabble is the illest word ever.
So yeah, man. I have no problem with how the game was officiated. Like I said, it was hard-nosed, tough, aggressive basketball, and they let the players decide it. Both teams were very aggressive. Yeah, there was some missed calls or just some fouls that wasn't called. But listen, man, once again, Brunson says it all the time. We figure out a way to win. We don't cry. We don't complain. You don't hear us crying, complaining, talk about we're going to give out 78 videos and all of that. Nah, we here to play ball. Big win tonight. Knicks for life.
1,000%. As we continue on, a couple more topics. Because it says, I ain't going to lie to you, hour and a half is crazy. We're old out here, man. I got more grades. I was at the barbershop. I seen mad grades falling off. This is nuts, man.
Wisdom.
Please in a good mood today. I thank you, Flea.
Wisdom.
Well, listen, I love y'all. I'm older than both y'all. Y'all know I can't stay on too long.
He said I'm older than both y'all.
I got to get the walker, get myself together. Yeah. What's the next topic?
Well, I don't know if we want to, because listen, I would say Kendrick Lamar set it off this year, but we gotta give props to Cat Williams. Cat Williams set this year off, and it's been like everybody's being exposed, and they just going hot flames out here. And Cat Williams was on Shannon Sharp show, and we know, if you don't know, Shaq was going on clapping back at Shannon Sharp because he had Joker on inside the NBA, and he disrespected the Joker, and he told him, hey, SJ should have been the MVP. Shannon took that and said, well, You're just jealous because you didn't win 3 MVPs or whatever the case may be. And I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. Shaq wrote a crazy clapback on Instagram saying how Shannon Sharpe, you ain't even top 10 ever in the NFL. You really just jealous, and I know how you really got famous. But I really just wanted to see. I haven't heard this yet. The official the official
Yo, don't play this.
No, chill, Fleet. Hold on, Fleet. What is he about to play?
The official Shaq diss track to Shannon Sharpe.
You didn't hear this yet?
I gotta hear 30 seconds of this. I
haven't heard it.
No, I didn't hear Fleet. Fleet, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, bro. If it ain't us, I don't be paying none of this stuff no mind. Like, and I'm gonna be honest. As men, I don't think you should never text more than 3 sentences unless it's to a female. So when I seen that whole thing, Shaq, once I seen all that, I said, I ain't reading that. You kidding me?
Yo, hold on. Before you play this. OG, this is bad. This
is real?
This is bad. No. Before I heard it already. But I'm gonna let Fabian play it. This is bad.
Well, let me say this before you play it. Shaq is one of the most overrated rappers of all time. When they be like, yo, rappers that was athletes that turned up. Yeah, he's terrible. Garbage. So
hold on, wait a minute. Y'all say that, but he clapped back at Dame Lillard pretty good to me. I love that. Dame could rap. All right. It wasn't Dame time no more after Shaq clapped back at him.
Play this. Just play it.
Lord have mercy.
This is bad.
Yeah, he does. Shaq hates every big man. If you haven't noticed, he does. He doesn't like the big man, rightfully so, because that's his position. He is, in his mind, he is the apex predator. No matter what no one says, we don't care. He don't care what you say. He don't care. You can throw all the championships and all that. If we lace him up, and we had to, in our prime, had to play against each other in our prime, he thinks he's the apex predator. Those awards irritate the hell out of him.
Yes, it's the MVPs, Gil. It's the MVPs because we only have one.
They didn't think that I would win, but I won.
Oh, you think you can say something about the teams? You ain't gonna say something back?
I got in.
You gotta have G14 classification.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number one.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number one.
I'm the best in the world. Number.
Oh no, Shannon Sharpe, man, you're way beneath me. Your whole demeanor is faker than new rapper beefy. You're soft before you get fly, you rather tweet me. I was in 3 different cars when you was in 3 feet.
Yo, cut that. Yo, come on, man.
Signs. They come in 3D.
Yo, cut that off, bro.
Make it hot. Ain't no way around my degree. You are not in my spot. You are like a peewee.
Hey.
Me Rocky the way I reread. I get to the green bag.
Calling me Rocky the way I reread.
Re-up.
Bad work.
That was trash.
That
was trash, Jack.
Bad work.
Jesus Christ. What do you feel about his message, though?
The crackheads is bringing that back to the spot. They want their money back. That's bad work. They want their money back.
I'm gonna be real.
What you got, OG?
I was a big fan of Shaq for a while, right? And he's starting to turn me off, man. He does great humanitarian work, you know what I mean? But just his the way he talks about players nowadays. All right, let me just get to this. Shaq is jealous. Shaq will never let go that he only has 1 MVP. Shaq is jealous of the Joker, and he has every reason to be. Let me explain why. And I keep saying this. Denver's not out yet. If Denver lose tonight, then cool. But let's just hypothetically, let's just say Denver comes back and wins this series and wins a championship. Shaq is in jeopardy of being the greatest center of all time. Not the most dominant, because we know it's not even close. But if the Joker gets another championship with that skill set, and potentially he should have 4 straight. This is why they didn't give him the MVP last year, Flea, because they know he'd have had 4 in a row, which has never been done, if I'm not mistaken. Shaq is jealous, man, because it's another big man and it's another player in his mindset that didn't deserve MVP, and it's a flashback of him with the Steve Nash situation. I just don't like how Shaq disrespects players because he's a great. It's starting to come off. It's not a joke no more. And I remember he told Donovan Mitchell, and he always said about Dwight Howard and them guys as far as like, you know, when I say what I say, it's to motivate you. No, it's not, bro. Them dudes can't call you and get advice. Like, y'all dudes is just straight haters. I'm sorry, it doesn't come off no more as big bro or Unc. This is why people love Shannon Sharp. This is why they call him Unc. What him and Shannon's going back and forth with, I'm being honest, and I'm gonna leave it at this, Fleet. I've never seen a world where people with over $100 million having problems and beefing. I don't see that nowhere else but in our culture, bro. I'm just leave it at that. Me with $100 million, I'm not beefing with nobody about anything. What Shaq is doing first with the loan thing and then now that might be the worst song of all time. That might be worse than Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby was dope. Hold on.
Stop it, man. Don't do that. We know it made a lot of money. Shaq might have the worst rap song of all time. Fleet, I'm throwing that in the air. That might be worst rap song of all time, bro.
Listen, man, I don't get how like everybody from that generation is Unc and OG, and like I call you OG for a reason, right? I
It's
do that
all
for,
love, appreciate it.
right? No. I say that for a reason, right? And it's not to age you, right? It's not to age you. It's to conversations that we've had, right? You know, interactions that we've had over the last couple of years puts me in a space where I look at you in a big brother kind of look, both of you guys, right? And if you guys were to ever behave in a certain way, I would be disappointed because I know y'all don't subscribe to today's bullshit, right? Y'all are still authentic. Y'all are who y'all are. If we have issue, I am not going to find out on the internet. I'm going to find out on a phone call like, yo, Flea, I ain't really like what you had said, bro. And we're going to have a conversation. I'm not going to find out on the internet. I would liken that to these two guys the same. Like, it's like the older generation has subscribed to what they do today, and it's making them, I know I use this word a lot, it's making them look goofy. It's making the older dudes look goofy. Okay, Shannon, you got a show. So there's a level of entertainment. It's always this, people always like mask this hate with, I gotta report on it. I gotta talk about it. Shut the hell up. You don't have to talk about it.
Right.
Shut the hell up. Let's stop this fake, I gotta do this. I'm required. I'm obligated to report on this. Shut the hell up. No, you don't. Report on what you know. Please stop talking about what you don't. So with this whole thing, in my opinion, Shannon is right. The premise of what he said. All he did was double down on things that you've already said. I did not take practice serious. I did not take my conditioning serious. A big reason why you and Kobe Bryant had such a contentious relationship. Forget all the off the court garbage. The reason Bean had an issue with you is because you played your way in shape instead of showing up in shape. That was a problem for him. So, and now it's coming off as, that was classless. I didn't like you saying that to Joker. That's his moment to celebrate. Him being a big man. The last 3 MVPs have been traditional big men. Why can't you celebrate that? Why are you talking about, that's not the time to talk about SGA. SGA lost, unfortunately. He didn't win the award. So you talk about that amongst Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie.
Right.
You don't use that moment that Joker comes on to say the things that you said. It's corny. It's corny. It's not keeping it real. Like, that's the other thing that we getting confused nowadays. I was just keeping it real. No, you was keeping it goofy. Shut the hell up. Like, you don't got to say certain things because you felt like it was, I get another stamp of being real. Nah, that's weird.
Great point.
Weird. So
that is a great point because the word real has been lost. Like it was never meant to be just be honest or unfiltered. It was a real dude. Was going back to what you said, consider OG or look somebody as a big brother. You just because you a big brother don't mean you older. You know, that comes with, you earn that stripe. And I really feel like Shaq did though earn his A1, the G14 classification, whatever he's talking about. I hate when he says it, because he just misuses it to me. but I think he's been an A-lister for a while. Shout out to Fish. I spoke to him earlier. We were talking about this randomly. It was hilarious. I don't really care. Like, I think it's fair game because it's just celebrity fodder. It wasn't too serious. I think he did double down on everything you said, Flea. He was doubling down on what was already what I feel about Shaq. Shaq should have been the best ever, no question about it. Kobe knew that. Everybody knew that, and they know that now. Is he out of people's GOAT conversation? He ain't out of my GOAT conversation.
Hold on, Fabian. And another thing, Shannon don't have to be a hooper to have an opinion on this. All of you niggas got plenty of opinions on everything that you don't know. Y'all are willfully ignorant and will talk about politics and don't know shit about it. Y'all are willfully ignorant and will start talking about Artist Gilmore and didn't know shit about artists, but I jumped out. Like, we are willfully ignorant and will jump in front of this camera and say something we have no knowledge about, but because we want to be a part of the conversation, we just gonna say whatever. Like, you can't say something about shit. Because Shannon is not a basketball. But so what? So what? A lot of you cats are talking from a position of entitlement too. So calm down.
But that's not where I think. Like with Shaq, he compared himself to 50 Cent. 50 Cent it doesn't matter who you are, he's going at you. I think Shaq picks and chooses the time and place, and that time and place, Flea, with the Joker thing was a miscalculation. I don't think that's as funny as the JaVale McGee thing. You weren't propping up SGA. That was disgusting. You don't do that to Joker. He's a three-time MVP. That means he's now in a legendary status. He's up there with you no matter what you think now. So you can't do that to him. You can't do that to Joker. That's nuts.
That's whack.
But you know what's crazy? Shaq says the wrong thing at the wrong time all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've not one time heard Shaq say the right thing at the right time. Like like I said, it just, and it just goes to show you, no matter how much money you have, with certain situations, it just rubs you the wrong way. You're jealous, man. Like I said, because I keep telling y'all, when people bring up great big men, of course, a lot of us, I have Shaq in my top 5 as the greatest big man, but a lot of people have Kareem, a lot of people have Wilt, a lot of people have Bill Russell. Some people pick Hakeem Olajuwon, and then now we have and then now we have another big man that I'm telling y'all right now, and I've been saying it, because we can't say who has the most rings make you the GOAT, or you could be in the GOAT conversation because LeBron don't have more than Mike, and people say, you get what I'm saying? So for me, once again, if Joker got two finals MVPs, 3-4 regular season MVPs, averaging a triple-double, probably one of the greatest skill sets we've seen as far as a big man, maybe rivaling Hakeem Olajuwon, which he can't touch him defensively. Shaq name will start going like this, Flea. Look, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, Shaq is a jealous dude when it comes to them players, man. And what he did was tasteless and just disrespectful, man. And it's like, and I'm gonna leave it at this. You said some great. Barkley and Shaq, nobody looks to y'all like big bros, like for advice, for just love and idols. None of that, bro. Y'all dudes is the worst when it comes to giving people props, man. So yeah, he was wrong, and I'm not gonna side with Shannon Sharp, but I just think 100% Shaq was wrong. Even that post you left, it's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? And then you come out with the worst diss song of all time.
Cause here's the thing, right? And this is what Shannon is dealing with this a lot, and I'm not saying Shannon is not at fault in certain things throughout this climb that he's doing right now, but then Shaq makes a statement. I know what you did to get where you at. That's gonna sit with people, right? That's gonna sit with me. Right. That's gonna sit with it's gonna land on people's ears, and they're gonna be like, well, what's he mean by that? What does that mean? Right? Why would you do that to your brother? Why would you do that to your man? And I'm not saying they cool. Everybody's not cool in that industry. But what I'm saying is Shannon already deals with the goofy, homosexual allegations, right? But what he wears, how he moves, all of that, right? He already deals with that, right? So now you say what you say.
Wow.
People's minds go everywhere, right? People are not responsible enough. People are not disciplined enough to allow that to just go over their head. Nah, they're gonna let that shit smack them in the face and be like, well, what he said, what he meant by that? What he meant by that, right? So it's like all of it is nasty. All of it is nasty to me. I don't think Shannon said anything out of pocket. I don't think he said anything that was new to our ears, right? But it's just always about who's saying what.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody else said that, Shaq don't say nothing.
Fade, before I run, let me just say this. Y'all know me. I'm all for the trolling, the fun, the entertainment.
Wow.
Y'all can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What that situation. I can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go. That situation is not fun and entertaining. So for me, once again, if it's not fun, if it's not entertaining, if it's not comical, I think Shaq going a little too far. And I'm not even looking forward to see what happens. I'm not even feeding into that no more. But fellas, good.
Before 20 seconds, this is what Peter Vesey said a couple, I think at 3:02 today. The last thing Kobe ever said to me at a post-game LA dinner about Shaq is that Wade and Pierce, another superstar whose name I can't recall, always thought I was the problem until he became their teammate. They soon found out who was the problem, and that's verbatim. So Peter Vesey is like
Dwayne Wade
like,
won a championship with Shaquille O'Neal.
right. And so did Kobe and Paul
Kobe
Pierce.
won 3.
Right, no, but his that point, what Peter Vesey is saying is that people thought Kobe was the issue. And then, you know, when Wade became teammates with him, Paul Pierce became teammates with him, and was somebody else that became teammates with him. They saw. I think it's just that he is goofy. Yo, I was totally ready to just annihilate Shannon Sharp. But what you guys convinced me to at least go, you know what? This wasn't worth it on either side. I think both of them have to watch what they say because I don't know what Shannon Sharp is gearing up. I don't see enough football talk from Shannon Sharp. That's the most excellent version of Shannon Sharp. When he was on with Skip Bayless and he was on with Deion Sanders on the NFL Network, that was the best version of Shannon Sharp, and partially because he's talking about football. All this stuff, I'm not saying shut up and dribble. I'm saying you are stretching yourself thin and you get in a bag everywhere, but all money ain't worth it. All money ain't good money to me because look what it created. Like Shaq and you and the going back and forth. Like like what is Shannon Sharp really doing? You are Wendy Williams for when they call you Wendy Williams, that was real. And I was gonna say Shaq has been an A-lister for 30 plus years already, longer than Shannon Sharp. So I thought for me, from my vantage point is like, well, he's been here for longer. Shannon just started being a A1 celebrity, a A-list celebrity, and I don't think he's comfortable with that. And you can see with the way he responds to a lot of these things. I think he's learned recently because the way he reacted to all this the Shaq stuff now, he's just like letting it roll off his shoulders. Like, hey, you still insecure, bro. That won't take away nothing from that. Like I gave everything I had with what I had, and the way he broke it down, he wasn't emotional finally, and maybe he was going through that. Hey, Sharp is a bochinchera now. Exactly. I mean, he's a gossip queen. But, if he's going to stick by this, I like the fact that now talking to you guys, that he's able to vocalize whatever he said and then stick by it and go, you know what? We can have a conversation, Shaq. Come to my show. I don't have to kiss your ass either. Like, now I'm really the guy at the top. And now that you guys have totally swung me on this, Flea, Shaq, post-career, media career, you ain't no Shannon Sharp, and you kind of need this to feed into your algorithm.
I don't know. It is no secret that the first 6 months to a year, they were going to get rid of Shaq on inside the NBA. They were going to get rid of him off that panel. They gave him a shot. And this is not working out. They were going to get rid of him. That's chronicled. They told us that, right? I still personally think they would be fine without him. That's me. I personally think that show would be perfectly fine without Shaq. But I mean, it is what it is.
You're not wrong.
Right. It is what it is. I'm not asking that he be off the show. I'm not asking that because he doesn't make it worse anymore. But, like, if they decide, if miraculously he wasn't on that show anymore, I'm not losing sleep. I'm still gonna watch it. I think it's still gonna be highly entertaining. So there's a level. Listen, ain't gonna get into everybody's business because I'm gonna move. We could wrap this up, but I will say this: Shaq dealing with a lot of other things too. Right? There's a lot of other things going on.
Well, you could talk about it. Come on, it's real. Like when his wife came out and she's
Like,
out, Shawnee saying
there's
I
a lot
wasn't
of
really
other
in love with
things
him. And
Shaq.
we could talk about that. I don't know if that really is what hit him and what struck a chord. But again, that passive aggressive style from him, like it feels like when you shoot at him, he's way too sensitive. But when he shoots at you, it's all giggles.
Listen,
you know what I mean? Like if that was going on in the locker room and we heard about it, you don't think somebody's telling him that on the court? And he might be like, that's a part of who, Flea. Remember, when me and you spoke earlier, I was on the other side of this argument, bro. I was getting ready to argue with you guys. Like Shannon Sharp's out of it. Nah, Shaq, passive aggressive. This is soft, bro. This was soft by you. That was a weak ass dish. You should have somebody ghostwrite it. That was terrible. That was horrible, as all boys said.
That was bad work. Like I told you, the Fiends gave it back to the dealers. That was bad work. Bad.
They really wanted you. And another great point, Flea. No, harp on that. You really almost ruined inside the NBA. The 1-2, no back. It's supposed to be 1-2 than me. Like, nah, you were Charles Barkley calling Mr. Sensitive. Again, he's the one that has to diffuse it because he's a media darling. He knows how to rock that. Similar to Shannon. Shannon's trying to earn his stripes there. And you trying to get some of that. Remember, you taking Barkley's clout on TNT, and they trying to get Shannon's clout. Come on, man. We got to keep it real with you, Shaq. That was soft, bro. That was some sucker shit, man.
Yeah, he's dealing with some stuff with his wife and the media, and then he was just pictured with a 21-year-old. Shaq is 52. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot. Yeah. The Diesel.
No, that's old. That's old. That's not even recent. That's like somebody have to go. Yeah.
I appreciate the correction, please, and I will stand corrected.
Yo, Knicks 100, you changing the world. Sup, my niggas. You see, you got in the chat. Get ready for the shirts. Get ready for the hats.
Yeah.
Salvatore.
Sup, my niggas.
Kristen Castillo. Another super chat. Salute Fabian. Salute all ball. Happy belated to Flea. Nova 3 will rip their hearts out. Will rip their hearts out like Swayze at the Roadhouse. Wow. Yeah. Indy, you ain't a killer. Pack them up.
Pack them up, Christian.
Christian. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We can't get to everything. Game's about to start within 2 hours. I wasn't gonna get to something else, but we'll start that some other time, man, because we got to get the other channels going. We got to spread our wings a little bit over here, man. Yes, sir. We do this. We don't play any games. We're real life friends, real life brotherhood we formed, and we're forming a bond out here, the all ball family. Get ready, man. Get ready. Oh, Salvatore said, hope you enjoyed your birthday, Flea.
Appreciate you, Salvatore. Appreciate everybody in the chat to show love for my birthday the other day and continues to show love to All Ball TV, Knicks Rehab. I'm on here with the Dot Connector, super producer, the hardest working man in the game right now. Big shout out to Fabian Perspective, man. I love doing this with you, brother. I appreciate you for having me, man.
Yo, man, appreciate you. Appreciate y'all in here, man. You know what time it is. Big Knicks. I'll at y'all later, man. Bro, that was not smooth whatsoever. What happened to my video clips? How the fuck dare you stream, y'all? All Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.